That's a lot of firewood. I don't think the video does it justice. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Let's Fix Things. It's a beautiful fall day. I am getting ready for the winter season. You can see all the beautiful leaf colors. And I am actually getting ready to clean my wood stovepipe. And this is one season of burning wood in my wood stove. I don't know if you can see it with this camera, but I will switch the camera around and show you how bad this is right here. And I am like really glad that I decided to do this today. It's a beautiful fall day. Look at all the colors up in the sky. But yeah, definitely a good idea to do this. Look at all that buildup. And that's one season. One season right there. All right. I'm very happy I decided to do this today. Yeah, so I really wasn't planning on doing any videoing of this because I did a video, I think it was last year, doing a chimney clean on this. But when I saw this, I figured I better show you. All right, well, let me turn the camera on and I'll show you what I'm doing. I don't even have a tripod. I'm hand holding my phone, so hold on. All right, there we go. Oh, it's going everywhere. Wow, yeah, I'd say that's pretty bad. Wow, look at that. How's it look inside? Oof. All right, so I'm going to clean all this stuff off. I'm gonna send my chimney cleaner down there, and then it's all gonna go down into the wood stove, and then I gotta take apart the wood stove and clean that out when I'm all done. So it kind of makes a mess no matter how you do it, but I'd rather do this from the outside and up top so I can actually visually see it versus just doing it from inside. Plus I have an old boom lift that I'm using. All right guys, I'll be back. I'll show you what it looks like from before I put it back together. So like I said, I really wasn't planning on recording anything here guys, but let me show you. I knocked it all loose by hand, and I'm just gonna dump it off over on the side here. I moved the boom lift. Let's see how much. I don't think I moved far enough away from my patio. There we go. Wow. All right, I got a little bit more in there I got to clean, and then I'm going to go back to the chimney and just run my chimney cleaner down there. All right, guys, I got it all cleaned up all the way down. Now I just got to take it all out. I only have one stick left, and that means I'm all the way into the stove. So you just got to go slow and steady. And like I said, all this soot, there's going to be a lot of soot flying around in my house too. But got to do it. And then I got to take the stove apart to get all that crud out of there. All right, turn my flash on. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, looks a lot better. I didn't do it with a light before, but a lot better. All right, let me put it back together. Then we'll have to go inside and take apart the wood stove. But as you can see, I got all my equipment out front because I had to get my boom lift back here. All right, I'm gonna do one last look around while I'm up here. Got the cover on. Got all the fall colors. Got the slate roof over there. This is a new roof. The ridge cap isn't that straight, but that's all right. One more look around before I go down. All the trees I got cut down last year. New fire pit patio. And I lost my canopy in a windstorm. I gotta take that and throw that away. Yep. All right, let me try to get out of here without ripping down the chimney. And we'll go on the inside. So if you follow my channel, you know I'm petrified of heights. I normally have my younger son who is not afraid of heights, definitely not afraid of heights. Do all my high stuff. But I did that last year and I want to keep doing it. And I just changed a lot of stuff around. I just used a boom lift going around the whole property to clean it up and stuff for the fall. But I'm getting used to it. Once I fix all the hydraulic leaks on it, we'll be good. A couple weeks ago, I actually fixed the slate roof. I did a slate roof repair in my front yard with this, and it actually broke down. It ran out of hydraulic fluid when I was half over the roof, and I couldn't even get down. That was a whole nightmare. But anyways, all right, let's go inside and see how bad the fireplace or the wood stove is. I'm gonna take it apart and clean it tonight, I hope, because I still have a whole bunch of stuff out here to do. That way, once I'm inside, I could just clean it all inside. And but we'll go check it out inside and see how much dust and soot fell through the cracks of the stovepipe. And here's the stuff I dumped from the roof. It's all over the place there. All right, well, see, I got a boom leak right there. I got to get that fixed, and then I got to get all new hydraulic lines made. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare. All right, well, let me get inside, and we'll check it out. Not too bad. There's definitely some soot on the top, but it falls out of the cracks there. But yeah, not too bad. And I am quite sure this is going to be, I got to clean all this. Yeah, so I got to take this all apart and take that whole top off up there, and that's where it's all sitting on the upper shelf up there. Let me turn the light on, and I'll show you real quick. I'll show you better. See, I got to take all the tubes off, and then take that plate off, and then it's going to be all up on top. So that's going to make a mess, but I'll do that later. And then I can clean the glass, get the glass looking nice. So, anyways, later on. Hey, what's up, ladies and guys? All right, well, it's the next day. I kind of got sidetracked. I didn't get to clean the inside of the stove out today. So I'm going to do that right now. I have the instruction manual pulled up on my tablet right there. It's a Lopi, L-O-P-I Liberty, I do believe. I do believe it's the largest wood stove that they make. And basically, I'm going to clean the inside of it. I'm going to take out the baffles up on top, take out the insulation, kind of just clean it all up best I can. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is clean up the glass and wipe off the top of it in case any soot fell through the seams of the pipe. Let me show you what we have, and we'll get started real quick. I'm not gonna do a step-by-step. You could go through the manual to do that. It's a really basic wood stove. So you just, has a secondary burn chamber up on top, so you just gotta kind of go by the instructions and take your time and don't lose anything. Okay, so one thing I did not do yesterday, which I should have done, is this is a bypass door that allows the smoke when you're lighting the stove, the heat to go straight up, and I did not open that. I should have done that, pulled it out a little bit. And so now when you open up the door, let's see, I have another light right there. And that's some of the soot or creosote or whatever you want to call it from the chimney that came through. So I have to take out some of these tubes and take out this piece up here. You can see all the stuff falling on it. And then I got to clean the back of the stove. So I'm going to put some gloves on. I'm going to get that done. Basically, you have a 3/8 bolt on that side right there. And the back 3 tubes are the same right there. Then this one has that pattern on it. And then the front one is full of holes all the way across. So they are different. It's in the manual. I have the manual online right here that you can grab. So each wood stove is going to be different depending on your wood stove brand, obviously. You can see how it has the burn chambers up above. And basically, this is what I'm taking out. I'm taking out some of these, whatever I got to take out of there to get this section off, because there's that baffle that goes up to the chimney, and that's where all the soot falls down. And I want to make sure it's not all built up on top of this insulation piece here. I don't plan on taking out any of the fire brick because that starts a whole nother process there. But anyways, I have a dustpan. I have a little bristle brush, 3/8 wrench, 3/8 socket, a plastic scraper. Most of the stuff just falls right off. And then to clean the window, I'll show you how I do that later. That's actually pretty easy, especially when it's not hot. So I have a floor protector on the floor also. So once again, it's a Lopi brand, Lopi, and I do believe the stove model is the Liberty. So as you can see, I'm trying to do this without making as much dust as possible because this is a messy process, but look at that. That's what we're trying to get to. Oops, sorry. All of that. So we got to clean all that out up there. And I'm going to take this out and get it outside as quick as possible. Luckily, I have my door right there. I'm gonna try not to drop any of it on the floor or minimal, and then I'm gonna come back and try to start cleaning some of this out. So I got everything out or down. Now I gotta get it out of here. But I even took the baffle or the blocker out there, and that fork that's hanging down is connected to that handle. That slides that's the actual trap door that goes over that hole right there. So it's all in the manual right there, see? So that's the fork, that's the door. That right there rides on all the way in the back, whatever one number 5 is, which should be that one back there. Is it 5? Yeah. So that sits on that one. So that's what I took apart so far. I'm gonna bring this stuff out to the garage, clean it all up. It actually started raining out as soon as I went out there. And don't forget, I lost half my canopy, so it's sitting on that side. These two things are sitting outside, hopefully out of the rain. All right, so I'm gonna get this stuff into my garage, which is through that door, hopefully, and can clean it all up, and then I can clean out the actual wood stove part itself. I will be back once I have all this stuff cleaned. So all I'm gonna do is take my air hose and gloves and wipe off everything and blow it all off outside of the garage. It's raining out, so I kinda can't go all the way out. Otherwise I'll turn to paste on everything. I might take the wire wheel to some of these because some of these have a lot of crud built up on it. All right, guys, I'm gonna clean these up a little bit more. I'll probably use a wire wheel or maybe even a bead blaster, I don't know. But I'll get back to you. I'm not gonna show any of that. I'll show you once this is all clean, what they look like. All right, guys, here's the before. Well, this is after I blew them off. You can still see there's crud on them. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time getting these clean. There's no need for you to watch. Don't forget to start watching some of my videos on my JCB that I got going, my Cat mini excavator, and the 2006 F350 that I've been working on. That's a huge project that I've been working on with the 6.0, getting it ready to mount the truck camper on. A lot of videos on that. So I got all that stuff cleaned up, ready to go. So now I just got to start cleaning the inside. And I got to do this very slowly so I don't make as minimal dust going around the house as possible. It's a very messy process. If I had an ash vacuum or a vacuum with a long hose, I could stick the vacuum outside and do it that way. But I don't feel like having to set up a vacuum right now. So we're going to try it like this first. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to use a plastic scraper and it'll fall right off. So I'm not going to show you step by step on that. I'll be back. Good enough. So I'm getting ready to start reassembling. So I'm gonna put the first tube in first. That's all the way in the back. And you're gonna notice they have one row of holes, the whole length, and there's one single hole at the end. That single hole is to hold this when it's in place. That little clip that screw hose on. So this side is gonna go over there. So slide it up, slide it in on the left, bring it up, put it in on the right. You see that single little hole there? Take a screw, take your little thing there. Let me take you off zoom, see if that helps. See if that helps a little bit. This is gonna be kind of difficult with the camera in the way, but so I got the screw in that. All right, so I can't reach it because the camera is in the way, so I'm gonna end up blocking the camera here for a minute. More than likely. It's a tight fit. I mean, it's a close fit too. There's not much excess room here. All right, let me try taking the screw out. See if I can get this in there first. And of course, tremors still are kicking my butt. All right, so now I need another hand. Oh boy. To get that in there. Whew. All right, I gotta move the camera. Let me get it started and then I'll show you. All right, I got this one started. I had to crawl all the way in there basically to get up in there. So now the heavy part, this there. And that is going to sit. And then obviously you got to not forget to put this in. This is actually the trap door that closes. And the two legs. Let me see if you could even see what I'm doing here. Nope, you can't. Hold on. All right, so then the next step is you take this big piece and you sit it up here, and it sits on that tube. But you also have to put the door on, and those two fingers sit in here, and the door goes in this direction. So you kind of got to do it all at once. So put that there. There we go. Like that. There we go. And it sits up on that bracket up here, just like that. So now I got to get another tube in to help hold it up. And once again, it's going to be a tube with just one line of holes with that big hole on this end also. Once again, camera's in the way, guys. I'll be back. So I got the two in. That holds the other half of the gate up there. And if you want to check it, see it opening and closing up there. So that would be closed. That's when you're getting the most heat. That's when you're first lighting it and you're getting the most heat rise. So you're allowing it to get ventilate the most, so you don't get basically a draft. That allows you to get a draft up the chimney quicker. All right, so now I got to put the big plate in up top and the insulation. All right, that was a pain in the butt. So the next one has more holes in it, has that little pattern there, and you just look for that drill hole on the side for the bracket to know which way it faces. And that's going to be something like that. So that one started. And then the front one has big holes and little holes on it. And you're looking for that hole right there. And if you notice, it goes opposite, so it's a little bit harder. Excuse me. Well, they don't give you much though. But it's on the opposite direction. And this keeps your window clean, basically. All right, so the whole inside of the stove's put back together. So the whole inside of the stove is put back together. You can see all the bolts are all started. Oh, I forgot one piece up here. One piece. Hold on, let me grab that. That's what we're doing so far. And I forgot to put this piece in right there. All right, let me grab that and slide that up in there. That's the last piece I put in right up there. And that's basically where all your heat goes. Once you close that and your fire is up and roaring and nice and hot, everything in here is red hot. And instead of all the heat going up straight up the chimney, because that hole that little trap door is on is basically a straight shot up. You close that and all the heat comes up through the front of right in front of your glass and goes up over this. And then it goes over that fabric, which is right underneath here. It goes across and then up. So this is kind of like a little oven or a second burn chamber right there. It's an air gap. And all that heat goes up and through that to get back up to the chimney. So this is all cleaned up in here, good enough, good enough. I gotta empty the ash pan, and the next thing I gotta do is I gotta wash this window. So, and then I can wash the whole stove down also. All right, so let me get this area picked up and we will start working on the glass and clean the outside. And I already inspected my gasket. My gasket is fine going around. Oops, sorry. Going around the door, my gasket is fine. So now it's just a matter of washing all that off and then washing the whole outside of the stove and then emptying the ash pan. But I got a full garbage bag here from the chimney, and that's all the stuff that catches fire. So, all right, I'll be back. Hey guys, one thing I forgot to do was to tighten up all my bolts. So I'm gonna tighten these up here real quick. I'm not cranking them in, I'm just snugging them up. There we go. So now they're all snugged up. Nothing should fall. Every so often, this piece up here will fall. This piece, let's see, right here. Every so often, that'll fall out. And every so often, I'll put my hand in there and I'll just push it back on there. And that's basically going over the insulation right there. It's kind of cupping the insulation like that so the heat goes right up and around it. It doesn't go underneath it. That's basically all that does. All right, let me get picked up and get ready to start washing that glass on the outside. So the next thing I do is I get a bucket of soapy water. I just use dish soap, and a lot of this will come off no problem. And if you get down to here, I don't use any of the scrubby stuff on it. What I use is I actually use the ash. If you use the ash that's actually in there, it acts as a fine sandpaper basically, and it will help you polish off all that stuff. And then when the glass is all done, I dry it off with a towel, and then I just wipe down the whole stove after I wash it, I wipe down the whole stove with an old garage towel or something like that. And then every so often, after you clean it, if you tape off your whole wall and stuff, you could buy black stove paint in a spray can, and you can put a nice fresh coat of paint on it to keep it looking clean if you want. So I'm not gonna do that this year, and probably next year I'll do it, because when I have the kettles of water on there, you can see it boils over, and sometimes it does make rust spots. But you could take care of all that with spray can stuff. All right, so let me start cleaning this glass. Sorry about that, guys. My cat wanted her chair back, so I have to move the camera. Well, guys, that's basically it. That's how I prepare my stove for the winter. I also use one of these Minuteman hearth mats because even though this is beyond code, meaning extra space, I still got a burn right here. So I used the mat that's normally over there for the cats to lay on. I put that here also. But that's pretty much it. Looks like I got a little bit of oil on here that's gonna have to burn off. But yeah, obviously that doesn't stay there when the fire is lit. The fire extinguishers are moved out a little bit and the plugs are plugged in. The plugs are for the fan and the sensor, the built-in fan that's behind it. So that's really it, guys. Chimney pipe is clean and obviously the whole inside of the stove is clean. So I burn about 8 to 9 cords of wood a year. And I have the cold air draft. So it comes from the outside. So I burn about 8 to 9 cords a year. So it does build up quick. So, well, yeah, that's it. So once again, guys, I am not a professional at anything to do with wood stoves or heating with wood. I just heat with wood myself. That's how I clean the stove, clean the pipe. And as you can see, it does need another coat of paint, but I'm just gonna wait till next year after I burn this year. I'll go through the whole thing again, wash it just like this, and then I'll tape off the walls and put a light coat of paint on it again just to bring back the black color, make it look nice again. But that's basically it, guys. The most important thing, honestly, I have 2 fire extinguishers, one on either side of the wood stove at all times. Once I'm burning and this is running, I think I have probably 50, no exaggeration, probably 15 fire extinguishers throughout the rest of the house. I have a couple in the garage. I have at least 2 or 3 right there in the kitchen. I have 2 or 3 in my bedroom. I have the bottom of the stairs, the top of the stairs, because fire goes quick. If you've ever seen a house catch on fire, a fire goes quick. And I could care less about the house. It's more so about me getting out, my kid getting out, and obviously my cats getting out. Those are they're probably the most important thing. So I'm pretty much done here, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I just want to show you how I do it, how I get ready. It is fall. The leaves are full of color, and it's actually past prime. They're falling. I only have about 4 cords of wood split this year, so I'm going to have a light year of burning wood. I am going to get out there and start splitting wood in cooler weather just for exercise. Some of it I'll be able to burn, but most of it will still be green till next year. So I'll have probably only like a 4 cord season this year. So it shouldn't be this bad next year. But unless I start burning green wood. If you burn green wood, you get a lot of that soot built up in there. So try not to burn green wood. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I hope this helps in any way, whether you have a Lopi stove, or I don't know how you pronounce it, Lopi stove, or any kind of wood stove. every stove is going to be different. How to take it apart, how to clean it, the maintenance of it, the fire brick size, everything. Go to your user manual. But that's pretty much how I do it. Very little tools. Let me run outside and I'm going to show you how much I actually got out of the fireplace. And don't forget, there was no ashes in the firebox when I started. Everything I have came from the chimney or stuck to the walls inside the fireplace. That's the stuff that catches on fire. A couple years ago, one of my shorts, I do believe, you could actually see the red ambers of this stuff falling onto my roof a couple years ago in the middle of the night. And I was this close to having a chimney fire. And at that point, you're kind of screwed. So you just gotta starve the fire out if you can, and hope it doesn't go up like a Roman candle. If it does, you gotta call the fire department, really. So, all right, guys, let me show you how much soot I got out of there, and then I'll end this video. So this is how much I got out of there. It's really a good amount. So it's probably about that far up. Yep, right there in the bag. And that all came out of that smokestack. So, all right, I'm going to throw this away. And hope you have a safe winter, guys. Goodbye.